Wrangle Schools Rugby Coverage, sponsored by
හඳුන්වා දෙන NDBC Digital Youth Account NDB බැංකුව.
Start your overseas higher education with Educo Pathways. For more information, call 0772 711 711.
Welcome to Quadrangle for our second roundup of this week on Schools Rugby. We are here at Nithavala to cover this weekend's matches up in Kandy, and on 1st July, St. Anthony's College hosted Trinity College here at Nithavala. This is a traditional rugby encounter which has been played since 1962. However, Trinity has been the dominant force throughout this series, and St. Anthony's College registered their first draw in the year 1968 and their first win in the year 1972. Ever since that, Trinity have been so dominant that so far they have won 38 games to compared to St. Anthony's 13 games.
Both teams started off with many mistakes, but St. Anthony's College started off scoring by a penalty kick. Shavin Premaratna managed to score a successful try and Koida Wickramasinghe converted it successfully. When Trinity and Bashana were sent into the sin bin, the Antonians were leading for 8-7. Trinity and Koida successfully converted a penalty. At the same time, the Antonians managed to convert a penalty. By half-time, the score was 11-10 and the Antonians were leading the game. With the start of the second half, Zaki the Antonian was given a yellow card. Koida Wickramasinghe, who was very successful in conversions, converted another successful penalty to make the score 13-11. Trinity College managed to score another successful try. At the same time, Anthony scored and converted another try by making the score 18-all. When Anthony's number 3 was given a yellow card, Trinitians took an advantage and scored another try. There was a slight change when it came to the last conversion. Atab Manzil took over the converting responsibility and converted it successfully by making the score 18-25. Trinitians managed to win a close and tight game.
So we're speaking with one of the team players, Kovid Wickramasinghe. What do you think about today's play?
Today in the first half we didn't play according to our game plan and all, so we struggled a little, but in the second half the boys came back stronger and we managed to win the game somehow.
Thank you. So we're currently speaking with one of the past rugby rides of Trinity College Kandy. Rashin, today's match was very close and it was very intense. How do you feel, and give me your insights on today's match?
Yeah, it was definitely intense. It was a good game. Trinity wise, I think we have a few work-ons and I'm sure we'll work on it and come back stronger for the next game. Yeah, but it was a really good game after a long time, especially after COVID and all of that. It's a good, entertaining game.
Thank you.
We have a die-hard fan of Trinity Rugby with us today. Welcome. How do you feel about today's match, and what do you think about today's match?
Actually, today's match was very tough and I enjoyed a lot. My son is playing, he's Jaigit Basnaik. So I wish Trinity College very all the best.
Thank you very much for joining with us.
So boys, starting from Dinuk and now till Jayan, almost all of y'all have been either the captain or the vice captain of the Antonian rugby team. How proud are y'all as a family?
As a family, rugby is no new thing to us. So from our father's generation, all of them have played rugby. And when we stepped to the field, from under 12 onwards, and since then we have also pursued a sports career in rugby in flying colours, and that's what we dedicated our sports life to. Rugby.
Yes, as my brother said, we started from a young age, and we started from under 10 actually, from 2008. I remember the carnival we played, and from there onwards the progress we had from 12 to 14 to 16 and then first 15. We all have played quite some time, more than 3 years in the first 15 side, and we've actually played with different times in rugby when it comes to the first 15 era. But talking about this match that we had today with Trinity, where our younger brother was captain in, it was a good match, a nail-biting match, but in vain, the last moments always we miss it by inch or so. But anyway, it was a lucky win for Trinity, I would say.
Yes, even I feel so that the Antonians did give a good fight for the Trinitians. Okay, now talking about your younger brother Jayan Amarasinghe, how happy are you all for him?
Very happy actually, because him being when we were playing our last 15 year as well, he was able to play with us, and in Matisha's year as well, he was able to go on a jersey and play, and from then onwards he had to work hard to get to where he is today. And from small days he had captained the college rugby team. And from there onwards, the mindsets of the boys today also on the field, they played a very good game of rugby. And it was a treat to watch after a long time, and like you all said, it was a lucky win for Trinity.
Yeah, as my brother said, same story. But when it comes to my younger brother, I remember playing with him in my last year, where I was the number 8 and he was the second row. We as Amara Singhs, we never had one position. We were all utility players. We didn't have one set position where the coaches told us, okay, you're a fly off, you're a number 8, you practice this till you grow old. We didn't have that. We were mixed up, we were put everywhere, because we had that capability and capacity to play every sector in the field. And talking about James' performance today, it was good actually. He had to win. I think we got 2 yellow cards, and in that sector we lost a flank and a prop forward. He went on the flank and he had the cover defense very well. As the seniors told him to go the cover defense with the number 8 and the flankers, they nicely executed it. But as I said earlier, lucky win in vain.
That was indeed a detailed answer, Matesh. So yeah, this is a bit of a tricky question. Who's James' favorite brother?
Well, for that you have to ask him actually. How do we know who his favorite brother is?
Yeah, it should be asked from him basically, but yeah, at the end it would be him, since he's closer to. The age gap is not that far. So
and I don't know about the favorite brother thing, but the last few matches since the Royal and Trinity, I've been with the side. I've been practicing, as you can see, injuries everywhere. Buggers are strong. Thing is, they don't give up, but the last minutes they had a lot of cramps, and our changes in the field didn't go very well as planned. But then again, lucky win.
At the end it was a lucky win.
Yeah, I mean, same.
So boys, before we wrap up this short video clip, or rather the voiceover, do you have anything to say for the Antonian boys, the rugby players who will be competing in 3 more important matches?
Yes, so the college team has proven their stand in the rugby arena this year, and they will continue to dominate the field in their presence, their defense attack. There is a very big improvement, and you can see, the crowd can see, everyone can see a vast improvement on how difficult it is to get into get through our defense line. So basically our team has the capability of doing wonders, and keeping their determination and striving to keep the college flag high, we will see many more exciting and interesting matches ahead.
Coming from me, I would say that this year all the teams are in the same level. No one is over or no one is lower. They are all in a medium level where they play clean rugby. So when it comes to season like that, they should all understand that there can be no winners. Like even when it comes to Royal, Peters, or so on and so forth, these defending champions, you can't say that they will win, because you cannot explain what will happen in the field. This year especially, because everybody's in the same level. And as you saw, judging us from the Royal match, you can't judge us from the Trinity match. You saw the difference. So on and so forth. The Joseph match, you wouldn't know what would happen. So what I would say for the young Antonians who are yet to face a Joseph match is, keep your heads high. You don't know what will happen. Move forward as an eagle and strike. We can get this.
Thank you boys for spending your time with me, and I really hope that your boys will do well in the upcoming matches. Thank you. And I got with me a past rugby rider of St. Anthony's College candidate, Janithu Himsara. Hello Janithu.
Hello Kevin.
So Janithu, the Antonians have had a perfect start to the game. How well do you feel about it?
Well, I think it was a first half. It was a good game of rugby. Both the schools competed really well. Both the teams played to their strengths, and I think it's a good confidence for our boys going into the dressing room for the half-time leading 11-10.
And we are just seeing the Antonian team going back into the field. And what do you think that the Antonians should do to maintain this performance from the first half and to win this encounter?
I think they had a good momentum in the first half. They stick to their strengths. They play really well. So I think they should not panic in this half because this is the most vital half. So I think they, compared to the last game against Royal, I think they have improved a lot. They have played to their strengths. So I think they should keep the momentum pushing forward by the end of the day, I'm pretty sure if they keep up their momentum, play to their strengths, just as they did in the first half, pretty sure we are going to win the game.
It was really nice talking to you, Janidu. Hope you will have a good
Thank
game
you.
and your boys.
Thank you.
And not to forget the atmosphere here at Nittavala. It was almost a full house, and I bet you that each and everyone present at the grounds fully enjoyed the match.
Quadrangle Schools Rugby Coverage, sponsored by
හඳුන්වා දෙන NDBZ Digital Youth Account NDB බැංකුව.
On the other hand, Dharmaraja College were forced to settle for a draw on their own backyard here at Nittavala against Science College on Saturday. Both sides played a fast-paced game, but Science went into lemons with a lead of 15-7. However, during the second half, Rajans bounced back and took the lead with 15-7. And they held the lead though Science scored an unconverted try. However, Science received a penalty during the final stages of the game to equal the scores, which they did, and both teams had to settle for a draw of 15-all. Post-match, an unfortunate incident took place.
We urge all the spectators and the players to respect the cultures and traditions of the game, and also to maintain good discipline on and off the field, and that's the spirit of the game. What an intense game it was between Dharmaraja College and Science College. We have the chief guest of today's event, Dr. Vajra Jayasinghe, an old boy of Dharmaraja College. Welcome to the show, sir. What do you have to say about today's match and how do you feel?
Well, as a division match, it was a very tight game, and both teams played very well, and there were some mistakes done by both sides. And however, it was a very intense game. At the beginning, Science scored in at the beginning of the match, which changed the match itself. It seems. I think that the Dharmaraja side could not recover for some time to enter the game, and however, it was a very nice game. Both teams played very well, and especially the discipline of the players, I should admire that. There were no problems during the game, and however, all the spectators could watch an interesting game, bit of fast rugby, and both teams scored head to head, and at the end it was 15-all game, and I think Rajans were a little bit unlucky. They had some chances and they missed, and Science too, and I wish all the teams all the best, both teams, to the future games.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you.
Quadrangle Schools Rugby Coverage, sponsored by
Start your overseas higher education with Educo Pathways. For more information, call 0772 711 711.
And our final game of the week from Kandy was a historical one where Vidyartha College beat St. Peter's after 10 long years. After losing their first game to Wesley, the wounded Tigers bounced back on Pete Rides, who were completely out of sorts in Hill Country, to record their maiden win of 2022 schools rugby season in a low-scoring affair. Vidyartha capitalized early from an immediate mistake made by the Pete Rides and went on to open the scoring through their number 8 Ranidu Gajanayaka. However, it was an unconverted try, and the Tigers kept pushing the Pete Rides to their limits, and at Lemons they had a lead of 5-0. During the second half, the Tigers were fortunate enough to receive 2 penalties, and they were able to successfully get points out of it by penalty kicks. At one stage of the match, Vidyartha had a lead of 11-0. The Tigers had to lose 2 of their players with result of dirty play, and Pete Rides immediately made use of that opportunity and went on to score a try. But by the time they got some momentum, it was too late, and Vidyartha went on to win the match with a scoreline of 11-7. The biggest talking point of this game was that in spite of difficult conditions due to rain, both teams played a clean game and upheld the spirit of the game.
Quadrangle Schools Rugby Coverage, sponsored by
හඳුන්වා දෙන NDBZ Digital Youth Account NDB බැංකුව.
Start your overseas higher education with Educo Pathways. For more information, call 0772 711 711.